splits or hanumanasana have been on the top of my list to practice. So join me in yet another version of dissecting hanumanasana or a split. If you've got blocks, I always like using them because it allows the spine to elongate so nicely. Let's do a runner's stretch to begin with. Step your right foot right between the blocks. Inch the toes forward and lift your toes up. Spread your toes so that you get a nice engagement of the leg. Draw your heart forward and just feel a little bit of elongation occurring. You might get a little pulling at the back of the knee. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, you'll lift up. Exhale, you'll go a little bit deeper. And if there's too much pulling behind the knee, by all means, bend your knee. And exhale, draw forward. Now let's change legs. Take the left foot forward, press your heel down, lift your toes up, spread your toes. I like the blocks right under the shoulders so that it keeps the heads of the arm bones lifting high, the heart just kind of softening, leading the way as you draw down. Pulls up with the in-breath. And each successive time you draw a little bit deeper into the pose. As you draw from your spread toes to your kneecap, see if you can lift your kneecap up a little bit more toward the pelvis. Draw down. Just a little awareness there to the back side of the leg. And come to downward facing dog. As you lift yourself up to downward facing dog, just kind of pedal the legs very easily. Lifting one heel, rooting down with the opposite heel. A nice easy movement there. Now walk to your hands. If you've got blocks, grab them again. Place your hands on the blocks. Center your right foot and lift your left leg high into the air. Bend your right knee. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Bend your right knee. Draw down. Straighten the leg. Keep your left leg lifted. And one more time, draw down to lift up. Release your left foot. Center it on the mat. As you take your right leg high, bend your knee. Straighten your leg. Bend your knee. Straighten the leg. Bend your knee. Straighten your leg. Release your foot down. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. One of the aspects of splits is the back leg, of course, and stretching the back leg just like you stretch the back of the front leg. Let's come to all fours position again. Step your right foot right between your hands. Again, if you've got blocks, use them. Press your toes down. Take your arms up and release. Now combine that with the movement you were just in. Draw your pelvis back. Straighten your front leg. Draw down. So it's a 2-for-1 pose here. We're getting the front leg, the hamstrings, and the back top of the thigh, quadriceps. Lift your arms up. Take your hands back. Exhale, release your hands. Come toward a straight front leg and draw down. One more time, bend your knee, drop down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take your hands down. And step back so that your left foot can come forward. I think this practice of splits is not unlike perfecting a recipe. You have to just play with the ingredients. You let the pelvis draw down as you keep the back leg strong. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, release your hands. Come toward a straight front leg. And sometimes you have to add heat in your recipe. Sometimes you have to add a little fat, a little acid, maybe a little salt. But each time you do it, it might seem just slightly different. The ingredients differ. And it's just like your body. Each day you come to the mat, reach your arms up again and back. Each time you come to the mat, straighten the front leg, you find that, the body has shifted and there's just another piece of the pose to work on. A little bit different than the last time you worked on it. Draw your pelvis down. Reach your arms up and slightly back. Take your hands down and straighten the front leg. Suppose you don't want to go too deep, too fast. It just requires a great deal of patience. Come to downward facing dog again. In downward facing dog, pedal the legs again. Bend the right, bend the left. Just very slowly, just bringing your awareness, your attention to the actions. Bending one as you root down from the pelvis to the earth with the other. Now let's try the pose. I'm going to use a blanket for my front foot. We started with a runner stretch and we'll end with a runner stretch. So take your right foot on the blanket, lift your toes up, just let the blanket just move forward and draw your heart down. Now pull the blanket in, so we're going for both length and strength here. Reach your foot forward. Draw yourself into a little deeper expression. Now pull the blanket back. So you're really engaging the legs very fully. A lot of injuries occur if we're not engaging. So draw, one more time, draw the heel forward, toes active, back toenails pressing down, and pull up. I like using the blocks because it keeps a nice opening of the upper chest. We'll bring the left foot forward on the blanket, toes lifted. And the first one, you don't want to go too deep, you just go slow. Draw forward. Pull back. Get the back leg to really engage nicely. Draw forward. Pull back. And again, draw forward. And pull back. Now I'm going to use the blanket for my back knee. So with the blanket there, the kneecap is a nice cushioning. I'm pressing the toenails down. As I step forward with the right foot, inch my way off the mat so I can slide the foot nicely. I'm engaging the back leg, pressing the toenails down, drawing myself a little bit deeper into the pose and pulling back. Again, drawing a little bit deeper into the pose and pulling back. Drawing deeper, really using my back leg. I may just want to stay there. So to do that, I can just put a block right under the top of the thigh and celebrate. Release out of the pose so slowly. And come to the opposite side. The padding really helps my knee. May not be so for you, but it's really nice to press into something that gives way slightly. So as you take your left foot forward and lift your toes up, work your back legs strong. That's really what we're practicing today. Working the back leg to draw down. And rise up. Just notice what side feels easier for you today. Draw forward. And pull back. Last time, draw forward. And do you want to stay in this form of hanumanasana to really celebrate? Maybe you can park your block at the top of the thigh again. Or maybe you've made it to the earth. Release your hands. And come out of the pose. Yoga teaches us so much about patience, about steadfastness in our practice, and about knowing our body. Each step of the way, we learn more and we develop more confidence and we become more creative in seeking the knowledge and the understanding that we need for the practice. Thanks for joining me on this path to hanumanasana or splits. Namaste.